Keep in mind, for Bad Company 2, that's 2010, so that means it's 14 years ago, and back then I was 18 years old. So I wasn't at school, I was working already. I was working night shifts back then. He's interested, Tobias, in knowing where I was at that point in life. So I was 18 years old, I was doing a lot of BMX, going outside a lot, and at night I was working. I was working and finishing at around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Right when I got back from work, I was playing that game until like 10 a.m., 8 a.m. sometimes, waking up early and like doing BMX, then working and doing this circle again and again. Not a LT way of life, but it was back then what I was living with. Living with my parents. Also, I was playing that game a lot, learning new FPS, how they work, and yeah, it was just a blast. I was seeing the Russian Badger, what he was doing in his videos. I was trying to do the same thing, and it was really a blast for me. But I watched so many of his videos. I think maybe more than I actually played Bad Company 2, to be honest. But yeah, that's what I remember from back then. I had my cats like I have now. I have a cat that's 19 years old. So back when Bad Company 2 was released and I was playing that game, my cat was sitting with me and sleeping and stuff. So those are nice memories I have, because I still have this cat with me. She's old now, but yeah, it's just part of memories you get when you play games. It's about Battlefield in general, the franchise, from where it started and the hours I put in. First off, I'm gonna start with 80 hours. No, 160 hours played. I played on console first. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was the first Battlefield I played ever, and also one of the first FPS I played, period. Also, multiplayer was the first one. But back then I didn't like FPS games at all. I was more into RTS and MMOs, Japan RPGs and stuff like that, and RPGs in general. But then I started playing, watching the Russian Badger on YouTube. It was funny. I was making Bad Company 2 videos, and it really made me laugh and made me want to play the game. So I back then I had a PS2, a PS3. I mean, I bought the game and then started playing. I was enjoying it a lot on console, but
we can do that.
the control stick to aim and stuff is not ideal, especially for this game. It didn't have any aim assist, I think. So for me, the biggest memory of Bad Company 2 is watching the Russian Badger and discovering YouTube channels around Battlefield. A lot of them got created around that time, including mine. But back then I wasn't making much videos, not Bad Company 2 videos. Then for Battlefield 3, as you know, I have a lot of hours. I've made a lot of videos. I was watching other YouTubers of Battlefield playing and stuff and doing loadouts, level cap and stuff like that. Rival X Factory also was his name. He made loadouts videos, and I thought maybe I got good at the game because a friend of mine who I met on this game, playing this game, told me how to play it and where to get cover and how it functioned, because remember I was new to FPS games. I wasn't really playing with a competitive mentality, so this friend of mine really helped me out on that aspect, and that's the biggest memory I have of this game. So eventually I got bored of playing with really good weapons. Those are all good weapons. So what I thought was, since I had a YouTube channel and a couple of videos already, maybe 10 or so, I thought maybe I could do request loadouts from viewers. I got a couple requests here and there, and it was really a popular thing for me. A lot of people were interested in watching and were giving me a ton of loadouts to do, shit ones and good ones also. So it was a challenge for me. It was a breath of fresh air also playing this game. So as you see, I have 2,611 hours. This is the Battlefield game I played the most. So for me, the biggest memory for Battlefield 3 was meeting a good friend, and also I met a lot of different people, which was cool, and also making the loadouts and starting my channel basically. Now on to the next game, Battlefield 4. But for this game, I have 351 hours. Right here also it says 371. Maybe the campaign, I don't know. But yeah, I have played a bunch of Battlefield 4 on and off, because at first I didn't like the game, because what I liked the most about Battlefield 3 was rush mode. And rush in Battlefield 4 is kind of shit, and comms or maps layout are not good for that. They're more for conquest than anything else. Even TDM doesn't play very well in Battlefield 4, so memories for this game, maybe that's when I kind of stopped watching Battlefield YouTubers, because it became really different with a lot of clickbaits and things like that. And I was more interested in other things. But this game is like really a mix of emotion, because I don't really get mad playing games, but this game always was really, it triggered me easily. So after 4 is Battlefield 1, released in 2016, 58 hours. This might surprise you guys, because the previous ones I had always over 100. But Battlefield 1, I don't know, it fell short for me. When it got released, I was really, I think, in a period where I was playing CSGO and Battlefield 3 really intense, both of them. Making videos and stuff, and I didn't have much time for this game, but I kind of regret it now, because I played recently for to do loadouts for a viewer, and I like really enjoyed it. I like the realistic aspect of the game and the immersiveness, and weapons are simple, although I don't like the progression for unlocking things. Just like Battlefield 5, I don't like it. But besides that, I think the ambience, the graphic design, and the atmosphere is really good in this game, and that's what really stands out for me. I also wish I'd play more, to be honest, so that's why I'll continue to make videos on it. The game's still populated, so I'll enjoy it while it lasts. Next up is Weird, 90 hours, Battlefield 5, 2018, 2 years later. Torture, I think. I didn't play much compared to other Battlefields, but still, there's things I really enjoyed and other things I hated. The game never ran well. Now it runs fine, but there was always issues with optimization with this game for such a long time. GPU usage was up and down, and had stutters, and no matter what I did with the graphic settings, it was just a struggle. And I think most people will agree this is one of the least favorite Battlefields in the franchise, because a lot of people loved Battlefield 1, so this fell short. It was a bit, it's not realistic at all, it's just it goes more towards a COD game, you know, and good memories with this game, not much, to be honest. It's to be forgotten, I think, This might surprise you, but 2042, 127 hours. It's been almost out for 3 years, almost. A couple months left. The release was garbage, like everyone know about, and you can't deny it. The lately released maps are good, and I like what you can do with the game. It's a bit more free in the way you can approach enemies, vehicles. Can use any guns you want while having a ton of gadgets and stuff, so you can be creative. I like that, and that's tough to balance. Really tough to balance, and the game is fairly balanced, I think. There's nothing crazy OP or just that you cannot do anything about. Like Battlefield 4, for example, the movement is just insane. But at least Battlefield 2042 has a more not Korean, coherent movement instead of people jumping and turning at the same time. But it's still a game undergoing. I don't know if it's gonna be perfect ever. I don't think so, because far from the best Battlefield in my opinion. But it's the one we have currently, the most recent, and it's like I said, it won't be perfect for sure. But once they're done, I think it will be good enough. But I guess that at this point they're gonna announce a new Battlefield and will be kind of pointless. So I just hope they figure their things out for next Battlefield, because you cannot release another Battlefield with the state at the launch. It's just a massacre, because it really totaled the game right from the start. And yeah, I remember back then when 2042 came out, it was crap, literally. It reminded me why I stopped watching YouTubers of Battlefield or just FPS games in general back when Battlefield 4 came out. You saw the perfect example. When 2042 came out, it was shit. And all of them were hyping the game, was saying, oh, it's amazing. Oh, look, what's new? What's amazing? Oh, this next patch. Next patch with like putting a scoreboard. Okay, good, but the game's still shit. Like, their credibility is just out the window. So I was reminded why I wasn't watching YouTubers playing these games. For me, when it got released and was bad like that, it really was devastating, because I was hoping for a new breath of fresh air, something really cool and fun for the channel and to do content on. Just wasn't really it. So I went back to Battlefield 3. Played 2042 on and off. The Battle Pass is fun to unlock things. The things you unlock are cool. The skins they look great. But it's not a realistic game at all. If you compare with Battlefield 1 and 3, where it's more immersive, and that's where I stand, where I would say Battlefield 3 is the best, 1 is the second best. Bad Company 2 is third, simply because if you play Bad Company 2 now, it really shows its age. Even though it's only 1 year older than Battlefield 3. Which is still decent in terms of look and gameplay, besides the netcode and iterage that's total garbage.